It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 dig, 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 go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
And just, what's it like to be Richard Petty? I mean, to have people call you the king and look at you that way?
I don't know. I've never been nothing else. Okay, and what was fortunate about, from my standpoint, the times I came along, the personalities that I were around, the people that helped me and stuff, it was a gradual deal. It wasn't a deal where you wasn't doing anything one year and then you come out and win, 10 or 12 races the next year, or a championship or something like that. It grew. I grew up with NASCAR. I grew up with the way the times changed in the world. I grew up with the way the times changed in racing, and it was just kept adding on day after day after day, and it just built into what it is now. And I never sat there and said, look what you've done, or look what your crowd's been able to accomplish, because it's just a deal. It was just a little all the time, and it was just like, that one year we won 10 races in a row. Well, we won one, we won two, we'd done that before, won 3 or 4, but by the time you won the 5th or 6th race, you wasn't trying to add any more. You was just saying, as quick as that race is over, where are we going to run next? What do we need to do to win that race? So, you didn't really get involved in it until it was all over with, and then you look back on it.
And when you look back on it, what do you think? What do you think of your career?
I just think I was a lucky son of a gun to be born in the right place at the right time, under the right circumstances, and had a little bit of talent with a lot of talented people around me to put me in a position to be where I'm at today.
Thank you.
We'll now hear from Kerry Murphy with the final out.
Hi, Richard. You've got to be pretty happy to have Bobby Labonte locked into a long-term contract. Talk about that a little bit and what it means to have a driver like Bobby Labonte as part of your race team.
Well, we're glad we got Bobby all squared away. He was a little nervous there for a while, but then when we got new partners with our new people, Boston Ventures, then I think he was going to stay anyway, but this just put it over the top deal, and so right now he's our building block. We needed something and somebody that was a steady, very competitive deal to build around. So now we've got to use Bobby and say, okay, Bobby, you're our building block, and you're in here for a long term, so you don't have to worry about losing your ride from that standpoint. So no matter if somebody comes in and starts beating you and stuff, don't worry about it. You're here. So I think it gave him confidence that he now will work with whoever we bring in, whether it's a younger driver, older driver, to try to help the whole overall team, because it most likely will be his last ride. So he's going to have to look at it from the standpoint that he's got to build his future around and help Petty Enterprises build their future back around him. We're dependent on him. He's dependent on us. So we felt real good about that and feel like that we can go forward from here.
And how is your relationship going so far with your new financial partner, as well as your somewhat recent move to the Charlotte area?
Do what now?
How is the relationship going with your financial partner so far, as well as your recent move to the Charlotte area?
Well, their checks are good, so we're doing good with that part of it. The big deal is that it's a new venue. It's a new venue for them. It's a new venue for us. So we've got to get our arms around who does what, where is it all going to go, how we get our sponsorships in, how we get our drivers all lined up, how we get the crews all lined up. So I don't see us having a major impact on anything outside right now, as far as seeing the car do better or any of that kind of stuff. I think it's kind of a deal that we've got to sort of sit back and look and say, okay, what do we need now to go forward? Okay, we've got this, that, this driver, and whatever, and sit down and say, okay, what's our next move in order to get more competitive with what we're doing? So it's just going to take a little while for Boston Ventures to sort of learn the racing business. They're in the financial business, they work on that end of it. But when it comes to how we operate businesses in racing, it's operated a little bit different than what your regular businesses operate. So there's a lot of give and take in racing, maybe that wouldn't be if you was just keeping a set of books and you're going by numbers. Our numbers are how we finish at the racetrack, and so those are the things that we just got to sit down and start figuring out our best way to go with that.
Thank you, Richard. Great to talk with you, and good luck this weekend.
Okay.
We'll now hear from Jorge Medaka with FoxSports.com.
Richard, is there any driver from this generation that you would have liked to have competed with?
I didn't like to compete with any of them, guys. I like to beat them. You know, there's probably 2 or 3 of the drivers that's running today that probably could have come back and have been pretty competitive in what they call days gone by or whatever it is. And there's a few of the drivers that I came up with, like the Pearsons and Allisons, the Yarboroughs, that could competed with the guys today. So there's always that little crossover there that some of the guys would make it and some of them wouldn't. But, you know, it's just a different ball game out there now from the standpoint of how these guys approach it, the equipment they have, the backing that they have from the sponsors, the whole deal. It's really the hard, you know, it's like comparing apples and oranges. It's hard to really say on that deal. But yeah, I would have liked to. I would like to have been in my prime right today and be able to get in a car that was capable of winning races and go out and race with these guys. But so would Pearson or Allison or Yarborough.
And Richard, going to today, it seems like the biggest challenge for owners is getting up to 4 teams. Is Petty Enterprises looking at 4 teams or going to 3 teams yet, or is that further down the road?
Well, that's further down the road, but that's going to be one of our building blocks. That's the reason with Bobby we can use that as the #1 team right now, and then we can work on the 45 car with Kyle's and all of that kind of deal, and hopefully in the near future we'll be able to maybe break out the 3rd car, whether we rent it all the time or not, but just a little bit to get ourselves into that mode. And yeah, we're like everybody else. If the 4 is the norm, then that's the way we've got to go, because we've been setting a level cross for 60 years with 1 car and 2 cars. And so when we moved to Mooresville, then we said, okay, we got a bigger place, we got room to take care of another team or 2 more teams. So we were maxed out in level cross, and we said, okay, we got to look to the future here. So we went and made that move before we ever got very serious with Boston Ventures. And so Richard Petty and Petty Enterprises sat down and said, okay, you know, with Kyle, and said, okay, we're going to have to do something, show some kind of progress here. So that was our first move. That was the hardest move that I probably ever made as a company operation. And then when it came to talking with Boston Ventures about bringing in new venues or a new partner, then that was a lot easier decision to make, because we had already made commitments to go forward anyway, and we felt like that the investments was our next forward move.
And we'll now